Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Discworld Noir. So, first of all, let's go back and see now that we've actually left the new hall if that has spawned the book that we want. And if it hasn't, we will then go to the Temple of Small Gods and ask about her alibi. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go.
I had a feeling I wasn't going to get away with stealing the book. A copy of Frescoes and Fatal Traps of the Temples of Alkali miraculously appeared after I changed the octarine board. I guess the students took their studies more seriously than I thought, but fortunately they still didn't have much idea what it was they were studying most of the time. I had a feeling I wasn't going to get away with stealing the book.
So what are we doing then?
I was...
Stop, you idiot. Stop. Do we have anything that we could use? Instead of stealing it. Put the envelope on it for some reason.
There was nothing in the book about...
Oh, I see. Okay. No. I'm trying to make the bed loot and I know you really want to. We obviously put the pendant on the book.
There was nothing... The pendant's design matched the one in the book for the seal of the temple of Anu at Alkali. The temple was famed for its intricate door mechanism, and the book described how to manipulate the seal to open the temple doors. I used the same method on the pendant, and it opened with a faint click. Inside was a small piece of paper with names on it. One name was aimed at me.
Leapt out at me.
Therma.
Therma. Oh, okay.
I decided to keep the list to myself.
I want to see the list.
I'd found a list of 8 names in the... not to find the name that stood out. The names on the list were Mooncalf, Satrap, Therma, Coom, Gelid, Warb, Foyd, and Kondo. Some I recognized. Some were strangers to me. The question was, what did they have in common? Why did someone have a list of their names, and how did they get it into the pendant?
Well, Warb, Therma, and Mooncalf are all names that we recognise. Well, we're going to see Mooncalf anyway to ask about Carlotta, so let's go see him to ask about why his name's on a thing, even though I'm sure he'll be like, hey, the list wasn't something I could talk to anyone about. Also, let's go see Nosferatu. What's his name? Oh, breaking everything. Malaclips is his name. Oh.
I need your help again, Malaclips.
They'll all need my help sooner or later.
Let's ask him about Errata, because I'm pretty sure he said his god was Errata. Collart says she's a follower of Errata, is that right? Bah! I am the only true follower of Errata in the whole of Ankh-Morpork.
Unless you have seen the light, help sooner or later.
Luton. Seen the light? Oh my god, this game's so broken! Do you believe in the ways of Errata? How could I not? Surely Errata is the most worthy of all gods to follow. Either you've just had a miraculous conversion, or you're learning to lie. Good. Are you so skilled?
Followers of Errata?
Oh, okay, he doesn't really care. Anything else you want to say to him? Something about these things.
What about the reader of esoteric occultism? Do you know about his murder?
Internal
It
politics.
is of no consequence to the world what happens inside Unseen University.
Even if they accidentally summon hideous demons from beyond space and time?
As long as they stay inside Unseen University, no problem.
What do you know about the murder of the patrician's clerk?
He wasn't killed. He's been smuggled out of Ankh-Morpork by a team of crack Ephebian ontological guerrillas.
Ontological gorillas.
Ontological guerrillas?
A vicious band of terrorist philosophers trying to spread their doctrine that our existence is purely an abstract experience mediated by a limited sensory experience, which cannot be relied upon to provide accurate perspectives or any...
Scent belonged to.
True reality.
Sounds plausible.
So, they got to you too, did they?
I heard a prominent merchant was killed.
That's right. A gangland killing by the Shin Kicker Triad. They told Bjorn Iron Trader to stop trading with their rivals, but he didn't listen to them.
I don't think that's the murder I'm interested in.
Maybe it should be.
Anyway, Malaclips, let's leave. I don't think you're really very useful. Doobity doobity boo ba-doo. Let's go see Mooncalf. Mooncalf. He's a calfy moon. Moony calf. Moony calf. Actually, I don't think we can even talk to Mooncalf about her alibi because it doesn't really make sense.
I
Because I didn't actually get it as a thing, did I? I got errata as a thing, which doesn't help anybody at all.
Can you tell me anything about errata?
Bah! Malaclips's deranged goddess. I do not waste my time with such trivialities.
It's really a shame that I can't talk about Carlotta's alibi to people, because that would be the logical thing to use that information for, really, wouldn't it?
I wasn't about to reveal that I had the list to Mooncalf. I had a feeling that would be suicide. But perhaps I could use it to trap him. Someone told me that you know Therma.
Indeed. And who might that have been?
It's not important. Is she part of your cult?
No. No, she's not.
But you know her.
No. I've never met her.
I see. What about Satrap?
Are you intending to bore me with a list of people's names? I haven't time for this tomfoolery. I must preach the gospel of Anu Anu.
Thy kingdom Coom and all that.
Yes. Indeed.
I'd clearly unsettled him mentioning Coom. Now I just needed to sit back and watch what he got up to.
Aha, I know what to do now, I believe. Does everybody remember that we saw through the mirror that you can, through the window from the other side, you can see Mooncalf. So I think Mooncalf will have a visitor, and we can listen to him, talking to him, and it will tell us something we can use to do more stuff in this game, and then we'll play it some more, and then we'll do all that stuff, and then I'll go, huzzah.
Stop singing!
Anyway.
This was the other side.
Yeah, I know it's the other side of the window. I want you to go over to it. Do I have to be a wolf to do that?
This was... There were two silhouettes at the window. One was definitely Mooncalf. The other looked like a troll. With my sharpened wolf senses, I could hear what Mooncalf was saying to the troll.
And I think we may have to do something about it. We will have a meeting of the true believers after this evening's sermon.
Sure thing, boss. You want I should go now?
No. You keep an eye on Luton if you can. I'll go back to the sanctuary and leave a message for the others.
You got it, boss.
There we go. But now what do we do? Let's ask Malaclips about the about the whatever we learned just now, because he probably doesn't like Mooncalf very much, so he might actually, for the first time ever, give us information that's actually useful. Actually, that's a lie. I think he gave us information that was useful when we gave that lucky thing to Warb. Or did he? I can't remember.
I overheard Mooncalf talking about a meeting of the true believers. I'd really like to know what that was about.
It's tough to find out what the cult of Anu is up to.
Is there any way I could listen in to one of Mooncalf's sermons?
The sermons don't take place here. They hold them in the inner sanctum.
The inner sanctum?
It's the center of worship here in the Temple of Small Gods.
How come? I mean, there are a vast number of gods and goddesses that the temple has to provide for. Are you telling me they all have to share one room for the services?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
High priests are always complaining that so-and-so was hogging the sanctum all morning, or that such and such left hair at the bottom of the holy font. It causes a lot of tension around the temple.
Can you get me in there? I'd like to have a look around.
I could arrange to have the sanctum for a while if I told them I had a follower, but I don't.
So if I agree to be your follower, you can get us into the inner sanctum?
Yes, I can. But you wouldn't really be my follower. The followers of Errata don't follow each other. We don't even follow Errata. We follow our own ways.
So why is there a Church of Errata at all?
You're learning, Luton. Keep thinking like that and you'll go far in the church.
So can you get me into the inner sanctum?
I can, provided we can find a time when the cult of Anu aren't there.
Are Mooncalf's lot in there often?
All the time. And that's not all either. He sneaks away after each one. I think they've got a secret sanctuary somewhere.
I'd like to find that.
That's
Actually, I like to find it too.
evangelical.
Can't resist a secret, eh?
No, I just like to get in the way of everything Mooncalf does. Him and his big evangelical budget and hordes of out-of-tune followers. Fine.
Singing and chanting at all hours of the
He's gonna
day.
get his comeuppance. And
In the rafters. of
Anything
the
I can do
room
it to
where
speed
money-
up suit me fine.
So you'll help me?
Wait here. I'll go and make the arrangements.
Well, here we go, we're in the
It took a
sanctum.
while, but eventually Malaclips got me into the inner sanctum. Malaclips stayed by the door to warn me if anyone was coming.
One was coming.
There wasn't much. There were small stained glass windows in the inner sanctum depicting the story of how a valiant mortal, pure and gentle, was cruelly tricked, taunted, and tortured by the gods. Just for a laugh. The inner sanctum sported a beautiful lectern. The inner sanctum, the plaque said it was donated to the temple by Mr. Fedean, of the militant servitors of Ikebana, goddess of topiary. Searching, I discovered there was a cavity in the base of the lectern. The space under the lectern was large enough to fit a whole person inside. Unfortunately, there wasn't much room to move inside. To my embarrassment, I got stuck.
Luton, they're coming. Hide.
I'm way ahead of you, Malaclips.
Amazing he did it without moving his mouth.
Dearly beloved, We are gathered together in the sight of our God, Anu Anu, to speak of our devotion to the Anointed One at this, our time of need. But before today's sermon, I'd like to read from the cult bulletin for a moment. Firstly, there's a jumble sale next Saturday to raise funds to buy a fresh goat to sacrifice. We'd appreciate it if as many cultists as possible could attend. We don't want to have to sacrifice another pigeon. It hardly befits a deity of the illustrious wonder of Anu Anu to be sacrificed another of Mrs. Jeroboam's gerbils either. Yes, I know they breed like flies, but that's not the point.
The sermon was one of the most tedious things I'd ever had to listen to. And as if that wasn't bad enough, then the hymns started. Why the gods wanted to listen to such droning monotony was a mystery to me, but I suspected they just liked to make the mortals suffer. I was going to have to be careful what I did to Mooncalf's feet.
Well,
The temptation to sink something sharp into Mooncalf's feet was getting very hard to resist.
I guess he's just going to leave automatically. Couldn't just skip this entire area, could he? 'Cause that would be crazy.
I tried to follow Mooncalf, but he moved quickly and his scent was rapidly swallowed up by the stench of the Ankh.
But you see, I know what to do. So let's go straight back. And see if Malaclips can get us another sermon.
Al-Khali was still following me.
Poor Al-Khali. So dwarven and yet so... Al-Khali.
I need to get back in.
I don't care, I'm just skipping that. There we go. Looks like the Death Star at the bottom of that stained glass window at the top. Or at least it does to me, but I'm quite blind, so it might not look anything like it. Get in that lectern, Luton. Faster.
I sprayed Mooncalf's feet with Sapphire's trawl perfume. That should make the little psychopath a little easier to follow.
Can take us all the way through the temple again. Yep. Super gameplay. Oh! I could skip it that time. There we go. Not too bad.
Sapphire's perfume cut through the stench of the river like a trawl wading through a dwarf street rally. The bright reek led into the shades, the oldest and most dangerous part of the city.
There we go.
As a wolf, I listened to what the so-called true believers were saying through one of the windows of the sanctuary.
Greetings, brethren. I call to order this extraordinary general meeting of the secret cabal of the true believers of Anu Anu.
You smell nice tonight, boss.
What?
What is that? KC2?
What are you blathering about, Foyd? Anyway, I see we're all present.
Therma not present, boss.
Therma has to keep a low profile at the moment. Do not concern yourselves with her absence.
Why should Therma have such special status? I have important business of my own to be doing, and these interruptions aid no one.
Quiet, satrap. Mooncalf wouldn't have called us together if it wasn't important.
Indeed not. There is an investigator, a Mr. Luton, who's been asking worrying questions. I think he may know about Nylon Ethertep.
I do now. I still say this is madness. There must be a better way to glorify our beloved Anu Anu without taking such risks.
You always were the spineless one, Coon.
Silence, Kondo. As chairman, I will not permit such disputes when the meeting of true believers has just been called to order.
When can we have a dispute?
It can wait until we reach any other business.
Damn.
Shh. What is it?
I heard something outside.
They say bravery is what tells the men from the boys. Well, I was a wolf, so I figured I could be brave and still run away.
Well, there we go. We're going to end it there, but we now have the location of their hideout and know about Nephroimhotep, whatever it's called. So, that'll be useful, probably, for doing something later on. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you did, like and subscribe, and I will see you next week, when we'll probably go back to their place and see if we can find anything. Anyway, see you later. Bye-bye.